In this video, we are going to be talking about reading a translated text. In this 6 weeks and even next 6 weeks, we are going to be reading pieces of literature that were originally written in a language that is now dead, meaning no one normally speaks it or reads it on a daily basis. We have to have someone to translate it for us. When reading translations, you have to keep in mind that these words we are reading are not the words of the original poet or writer. There may be some nuances or subtexts that were lost or added as the translation process occurred. So one of the arts of reading a translated text is trying to understand what that translator found important. We have three translators of Beowulf that we are going to be looking at today. We have J.R. Tolkien, Seamus Heaney, and Burton Raffel, who is the translator that we're going to be using when reading the rest of Beowulf. There are small differences, like Tolkien writing that it was 15 men that went to help Hrothgar, and Burton says 14. So it could be as simple as 15 total or 14 extra men, not including Beowulf, or it could have been a mistake in translation. We're not going to get into the art of translating from the translator's perspective. We are going to look right now at the final outcome, meaning we're going to be looking at the style, the effect it has on the reader, which is you. We're going to look today at a small passage we are going to actually analyze a little bit later, next week or the week after. This is a speech given to Beowulf by King Hrothgar, the man that he went to help. So in this assignment, you do have the three different translations. So quickly read the translation from Tolkien, from Seamus Heaney, and from Burton Raffel. It's all the same part of the original Beowulf that they did translate. First off, after reading these three translations, you should notice the differing styles. Let's talk about the odd man out, which is Tolkien. He lectured on Beowulf at Oxford College, and he translated Beowulf from the Old English. However, he never meant to publish his translation to be read as a story. He wanted to translate the poem with its exact meaning intact. So we can see the alliteration and the rhythm was abandoned in favor of the direct translation. He would go back and change the manuscript as his thoughts of the poem changed, but his focus was on the academic scholarly application of the poem. On the other hand, the two translators, they are poets as well as translators. So they aim to keep the alliteration and the rhythm, but a difference between their two choice of words is where they're going to be differing a lot. Heaney kept the figurative language of flowering and blooming, while Burton did not. You can see in Heaney's passage, this metaphor runs through, relating Beowulf to a flower of warriors and saying that his strength is in bloom. But Raffel tends to be a little more straightforward. He says Beowulf is the best of warriors, and he adds the rhetorical question of, your power are yours for how many years? In the end, it may just be a matter of personal taste. What effect does it have on the reader? Which one do you react to a little bit more? Personally, I am drawn to the imagery and grander style of Heaney. Raffel writes, push away pride, while Heaney writes, do not give way to pride. So it's just in a matter of language, which one do you like better? When we read Beowulf and other translated texts, we will evaluate style and tone and words which do, in most part, come from the translator. The themes and symbols and characters come from the original text, so we can analyze those in relation to the original writer. But these texts do not stand alone anymore. We can't just say this is what the original writer intended, this is the original writer's words. We have to take into account the translator. In a BBC article, the writer Anderson says, literature, fiction especially, offers a crucial window into the lives of others, promoting empathy and understanding in a way that traveling somewhere rarely does. we get this opportunity to empathize and connect with people who died thousands of years ago through the original poet's story and the words of the translator.